The Royal Marines are just British Rangers with boats. US Rangers are Marines without the water wings. Both have the same mission, same kit, same outcomes. Pick the flag you like. All three of these statements are utter rubbish. Here's the truth. These two units are built for different windows of the same war. One is capable of conducting rapid response ops from land and sea. The other specialises in surgically seizing terrain, collapsing networks at night, and opening airheads for the joint force. In this video, we aren't rehashing the same facts from our previous instalments. Today, we are diving into other facts and roles of these elite units. Welcome back to the war. Before we begin, type green for the Royal Marines or red for the Rangers. The Royal Marines today are optimised as the UK's forward, special operations capable littoral force under the Future Commando Force. They operate as small, tech-heavy strike companies forward deployed inside littoral response groups, LRG for short. LRG North covers the Euro-Atlantic theatre, while LRG South handles the Indo-Pacific. Their mission brief centres on reconnaissance-led raids, deception operations, counter anti-access area denial actions, and pave the way tasks for naval task groups in contested coastal zones. During Nordic Response and Steadfast Defender 24, Royal Marines created routes and attacked sensor nodes in Arctic Norway from Camp Viking. They were specifically rehearsing the takedown of coastal anti-access systems to enable fleet operations. This isn't theoretical anymore, it's their primary wartime function. US Army Rangers from the 75th Ranger Regiment serve as the Joint Forces Rapid Precision Hammer for airfield seizures, high-value target raids, and joint forcible entry operations. The regiment's design supports kill chain acceleration, find, fix and finish targets at night with integrated air support and fires, then exploit intelligence and exfiltrate before sunrise. Recent operational tempo in Iraq and Syria shows this pattern clearly. Partnered raids, leadership removals, sensitive site exploration, rinse and repeat. The key divergence here is fundamental. Royal Marines are the Naval Task Group's blade in the surf zone. Rangers are the theatre commander's scalpel for land entry and decapitation raids. One neutralises shoreline radar and missiles to let ships survive the fight. The other opens runways and collapses enemy networks to let follow-on brigades land safely. So who wins when the mercury hits minus 20 Celsius or plus 45? For Royal Marines, Arctic mastery isn't just a talking point, it's a recurring campaign season. The Mountain Leader cadre and 4-5 Commandos cycle through Norway regularly. Future Commando Force doctrine assumes prolonged cold weather operations with deception tactics, distributed teams, and extensive UAV and sensor integration. The Commando Helicopter Force trains alongside them for vehicle interdictions and littoral pursuit operations. In 2024, they demonstrated these capabilities with Wildcat and Merlin helicopters in complex interdiction drills. Rangers have their own unique pipeline that goes well beyond the usual headlines. After RASP selection comes small unit Ranger tactics, followed by a regiment-run progression that integrates breaching, mobility, medical training and urban night fighting at scale. The Regimental Reconnaissance Company exists in its own specialised world. They conduct Halo and hey-ho insertions, maritime and land infiltration, sensor emplacement, and multi-day clandestine surveillance operations supporting JSOC missions. They're the eyes that make those nightly raids surgically precise. The fundamental contrast is clear. Royal Marines train for environmental dominance. Rangers train for tempo dominance under night vision in urban and suburban environments. Different climates, different operational clocks. Which unit has a battalion whose day job is to listen to your electronics? Royal Marines under 3 Commando Brigade have completely reshaped 4-0 and 4-5 Commando into literal strike companies that plug directly into literal response groups. 4-7 Commando serves as the raiding group, providing the surface manoeuvre expertise, raiding craft operations, surf zone insertion techniques, and equipment trials. But the real secret weapon is 3-0 Commando 9 Group, the intelligence and electronic warfare nucleus. They house the surveillance and reconnaissance squadron and Y squadron for electronic warfare, communications and information activities. This is the always listening function that supports deception operations and precision strikes. Rangers field a different organisational structure with 5 distinct battalions. The 1st, 2nd and 3rd battalions handle manoeuvre operations. The Regimental Special Troops Battalion houses the Regimental Reconnaissance Company along with communications and intelligence assets. Finally, the Regimental Military Intelligence Battalion rounds out the structure. Recent administrative updates have formalised RSTB and RMIB within veteran eligibility frameworks, small paperwork changes that reflect big organisational realities. The translation is straightforward. Royal Marines have institutionalised information exploration at the brigade level to win the literal sense of war. Rangers have institutionalised reconnaissance and intelligence as a regimental precision engine specifically designed for raids. One force quietly standardises for the surf, the other is mid-leap to 6.8mm lethality. Royal Marines kit focus that you may have missed centres on the Commando Modular Assault System with the Commando Ballistic Armour Vest and Cry Precision Multicam uniforms that are lighter and drive faster than previous gear. They've built a RAF-centric equipment ecosystem under 4-7 Commando leadership. The offshore and Commando raiding craft are getting major upgrades to replace ageing boats. The new Commando insertion craft is coming online in the mid to late 2020s. Expect faster, lower signature boats specifically built for over-the-horizon infiltration missions. There's also a quiet logistics revolution happening. The Malloy T-150 heavy lift drone has been cleared from frontline Royal Navy use. It's been demonstrated in ship-to-ship operations on HMS Prince of Wales and HMS Dauntless. The same class of electric vertical takeoff and landing lifters can handle ship-to-shore resupply of commandos in austere literal environments. This means rapid ammunition and medical resupply without exposing boats or helicopters to enemy fire. Rangers are undergoing their own modernisation programme. The GMV 1.1, known as the Flyer 72, serves as their light strike workhorse. MR-ZR variants are proliferating for ultralight troop movements, casualty evacuation and weapons platform roles. The next generation squad weapons system represents a bigger change. The M7 rifle programme is progressing with broader army units receiving their first weapons last year in 2024. Ranger battalions are scheduled to field the system this year in 2025, along with the XM157 fire control system. This means more range and penetration capability, but with heavier load trade-offs. The bottom line is clear. Royal Marines emphasise the mobility and stealth required to get from ship to beach and sustain operations there. Rangers emphasise the lethality and mobility needed to smash through decisive points on land. One side uses drones to make beaches porous. The other turns a city block into an X-ray. The Royal Marines' literal playbook in the Future Command Force era involves small deception teams inserted by grey boats at night. They place unattended sensors, fly small unmanned aircraft systems for thermal and electro-optical reconnaissance, and feed intelligence back to 9 group hubs. The objective is to blind coastal batteries and surface-to-air missile sensors, kill radar systems with loitering munitions, then punch a precise raid where the enemy isn't looking. Exercises building on 2019's Autonomous Advanced Force trials continue to iterate this approach, with AI-enabled targeting and distributed command and control. The Rangers' raid matrix compresses time on target with 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment lift support, intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance stacks, fires on call, Android team awareness kit across the force, and regimental reconnaissance company forward teams pushing last mile target validation. The signature is violence of action under night vision with instant sensitive site exploration and detainee handling procedures. You don't hold the ground, you hold the results and get out fast. The tactical difference is fundamental. Royal Marines degrade the coastline's eyes and ears so the fleet can operate freely. Rangers collapse specific nodes, a person, a runway, a command hub, so the theatre can advance. These are not the usual highlight reels. Beyond the standard commando historical narrative, the modern Royal Marines lineage runs through specialised raids that rarely get headlines. Baltic and Mediterranean littoral response group deployments have been experimenting with deception landings and combined arms littoral drills that make the Future Commando Force redesign operational reality. This includes humanitarian mission pivots like LRG South ships supporting aid delivery routes in the Eastern Mediterranean during the last few years, while simultaneously rehearsing combat insertions during Australia's Predator Run 24 exercise. For Rangers, 2024 open source reporting shows partnered raids across Iraq and Syria continued to remove ISIS facilitators and reduce network operational tempo. These operations are largely untelevised, but the rhythm matters more than individual headlines. Dozens of partnered operations, rapid intelligence exploitation, minimal footprint left behind. It's the accumulation that breaks insurgent operational capacity, not any single flashy strike. This historical context matters because it shows divergent institutional evolution. The Royal Marines story is the rebirth of the Naval Raiding Corps designed for the age of missiles and drones. The Rangers story is the institutionalisation of precise, repeatable disruption operations at significant scale. If both were pointed at the same enemy on the same night, who gets the mission? Mission framing determines everything. If the joint force needs coastal radar chains neutralised so the Naval Task Group survives the next day's operations, you call the Royal Marines Literal Response Group, with 3-0 Commando in the intelligence loop and 4-7 Commando handling surface operations. They will systematically erase shoreline sensor coverage and leave the enemy chasing electronic ghosts while real raiders strike from unexpected directions. If the joint force needs an airfield seized, a high-value target extracted, or a commando destroyed with proof of mission success on the objective by dawn, you call the Rangers. They will complete planning in hours, execute the strike in minutes, and be wheels up for extraction before most enemy forces finish rolling out of bed. But here's the secret that most people miss completely. You don't pick one over the other in a real war. You sequence them strategically. The sharks in the surf open the coastline by eliminating anti-ship systems. The wolves in the darkness open the interior by collapsing command networks and seizing key terrain. Together, they attack the problem from two different operational dimensions, and that's exactly how modern campaigns end quickly and decisively. One is better than the other. Rubbish. Different jobs, different monsters. Exactly right. Both forces represent the sharp end of their respective military cultures, optimised for different windows of the same strategic problem. Royal Marines exist to make contested coastlines permeable for naval operations. Rangers exist to make defended terrain vulnerable to joint force exploration. The real question isn't which unit you rather have in a firefight. The real question is whether you understand the operational environment well enough to deploy the right tool at the right time against the right target. Because in modern warfare, that understanding decides campaigns long before the first shot gets fired. Hi soldiers, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments. And join our legacy army by checking out our merch and membership programs. And don't forget to check back in again soon. That's an order.